Hi, I'm Kristine Weber from Subtle Yoga. Today I'd like to show you a way of breathing that's going to be really supportive for you in your asana practice. And belly breathing is something that we hear about a lot in the yoga world, and it's a really good way to breathe when you're meditating or for some pranayama practices. But for asanas, we want to do what we can to protect the spine, and in order to protect the spine, it's actually more useful to use a breath that is sometimes called structural breathing. So it's a way of breathing that's going to be really useful for you when you practice asanas. So why don't you practice it with me now from seated. So you can sit up like I'm sitting, or if you like, sit on a bolster or a folded blanket. And what we're going to do is bring our hands to the lower ribs so you can get a sense of how the lower ribs move when you're inhaling. So with the hands here, as you inhale, what you want to feel with your hands is that the breath moves out. It moves you out in a kind of almost 360-degree way. And if you can think about your whole rib cage like a hot air balloon that lifts up on your inhale, it's going to be a really supportive way of breathing. So let's try it again. So exhale completely, and then you can breathe in with me and lift the ribs up. And then exhale. So I'm using a little bit of engaging in the back of my throat called the ujjayi breath as I'm doing the exhale. It's also useful on the inhale, but if you don't have that yet, just try and get it on the exhale. It's like you're kind of fogging a mirror, but you do it through your nose, not through your mouth. Okay, so let's try it again. So we're going to breathe in, lift the ribs up off the hips, and exhale. Okay, so that's the first part of the breath, the inhale part of the breath. The second part of the breath, your exhale, is equally important, perhaps even more so depending on which asanas that you're doing. So the exhale, we want to think about starting under the navel and feeling the abdominal muscles engage. And depending on which poses you're doing, you engage the muscles more or less. Just for seated here, for our purposes, I want you to engage maybe about 25% of your abdominal strength, okay? And then after engaging the lower abdomen, then you can move the upper abdomen in a little bit and let that be kind of a tone or a firmness in the abdomen. So first do your inhale, lift up the hot air balloon. And then on the exhale, lower abdomen. And then the navel to the solar plexus part of the abdomen. And maintain some of that tone, and then breathe in again. So the ribs lift up off of the hips. And you'll notice that your belly starts to relax a little bit here. That's fine. Re-engage on the exhale. Pubic bone to navel, navel to solar plexus, right, as you exhale. Keep a little tone in your abdomen. Breathe in, let the ribs lift up again. And on the exhale, pubic bone to navel, navel to solar plexus. You'll feel the chest just gently relaxing as well. So that basic form of breathing, the inhale, the ribs lift up out of the hips, the exhale, the abdomen engages, is going to be really helpful for you in your asana practice. So let's try it. We'll do two poses. Let's try it in two poses. The first one is called Chakravakasana, or sunbird. So you're going to come up to all fours with me. And we're actually going to start on an exhale. So we're going to start by pulling the belly in on the exhale. Okay, so notice your breath. Don't worry so much about your inhale. Notice your breath. And as you exhale, draw in from the pubic bone to the navel, and then the navel to the solar plexus. And you'll notice that your back wants to kind of take a little more roundness, or go into a little bit of a posterior tilt in the pelvis when you do that. Let's try it again. So just a regular breath in. Don't worry about your in-breath. And then on the exhale, drawing the belly in. Keep your belly strong now. And as you inhale, lift your ribs again up out of the hips. And here you can even isometrically pull your hands back a little bit. As you exhale, draw the navel in. Now this time, keeping the navel toned, inhale and lift the ribs out of the hips. And then as you exhale, draw the belly in And start to lower your hips towards your heels. Let your elbows come down. Forehead comes down. And then as you inhale, you're going to keep your abdomen strong. You're going to keep some tone in your abdomen. Pull the hands isometrically back. Lift the chest a bit. And then exhale, lower abs. Navel to solar plexus. And we'll do that one more time, keeping the belly strong. Inhale, lift the ribs up off the hips. And exhale, lower abs in, elbows down, navel to solar plexus. Okay, so please slide forward onto your abdomen, and we'll do the same practice in Cobra. So we're going to take the forehead to the floor, hands by, just a simple Cobra, a small Cobra, hands by your shoulders. Exhale completely, drawing the navel in. And as you inhale, lift the ribs up out of the hips. The belly stays a little strong here. And then use your exhale to set you back down. So you re-engage the abdomen as you come down. What this is going to do is prevent you from compressing the lower back in your Cobra. So on your next inhale, the belly stays strong. Lift the ribs up out of the hips. And as you exhale, the belly re-engages. Forehead down. Re-engage your belly. Use about, 25, even 40% of your abdominal strength. One more time. Inhale, lift the ribs up out of the hips. And exhale, re-engage your abdomen. And then finally, let's come back to tabletop just to counterpose that a little bit. We'll try the sunbird pose again. So on the inhale, you lift the ribs out of the hips. And on the exhale, engage your abdomen. Feel the work that you just did in your back with the Cobra. This should feel really nice, a really nice stretch here. Inhale, come forward again. The belly stays toned. And exhale back. Elbows drop. Feel how your back feels a little different than the first time you did the pose. One more time. Inhaling forward. And exhaling, the navel draws in, the elbows come down, the forehead comes to the floor. And please come to seated. You can sit with your legs crossed, or you can sit on your heels if you like. And just take a moment and notice how your body feels after practicing that breathing. This is a breath-centric asana practice. This is a way of practicing yoga where your breath leads the way. So thanks for joining me today. Namaste.